We are here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Friday, July 26th here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and you're watching News Generation. Today, we're joined by Choi Ji-hee.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, and Im Sang-yeop.
Thanks for having me.
Lovely to have you. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. Now, as usual, we're going to start with our news feed, which covers different hashtags and news items that have been trending online. K-pop management agency HYBE has announced its new CEO. On Wednesday, the company revealed that its current chief strategic officer, Lee Jae-sang, will take on the new role. HYBE described Lee as the ideal figure to lead its soon-to-be-revealed HYBE 2.0 strategy. The company says his appointment will be finalized through the shareholders and board of directors meeting soon. In other news, a recent survey by domestic job search platform Job Korea found that the average commute time for office workers in the country is 48.4 minutes. More than half of the respondents use public transportation, such as buses or the subway, citing them as the fastest modes of transport. 60% of respondents said they listen to music on their way to work. The survey polled 1,010 office workers across the country. Finally, Chinese e-commerce platform AliExpress has been fined 1.9 billion Korean won, approximately $1.37 million for sharing information about its Korean users with over 180,000 overseas sellers without implementing proper protection measures. On Thursday, Korea's Personal Information and Privacy Commission announced this decision. This penalty makes AliExpress the first company to be fined or violating the overseas transfer of personal data under the Personal Information Protection Act. The Personal Data Protection Watchdog has been investigating AliExpress and Temu, another Chinese online shopping platform, following concerns raised in last October's parliamentary audit. So, Sang-yeop, can you tell us more about the factors about what led the commission to impose this big amount of fine?
Yeah, so the Commission's investigation first took last October during the state audit when there was an overall concern regarding the infringement of personal information. So with the rising number of people purchasing products from overseas websites directly, and according to the investigation, AliExpress has been transferring the personal information of its users to more than 180,000 overseas vendors without their consent in advance. So most of the vendors registered in AliExpress and Temu are Chinese-based companies, which means that the personal information of the users of these companies may have been leaked to those companies without prior notification. So usually the e-commerce platforms like AliExpress or Temu must receive a prior agreement from the consumers regarding personal information transfer.
Right.
But it was revealed that Ali and Temu haven't been notifying this to their users and haven't set up the firm response measures for protecting the personal information of their members.
Right, which is the reason why the commission slapped such a huge amount of fine to this platform. Now, Ji, I want to ask you, what has been AliExpress's response to this fine, and what about Temu?
Well, AliExpress publicly responded to this fine of about $1.4 billion, that was, right? By expressing regret and emphasizing its commitment to improving data protection practices. And the company is taking steps to address the issues highlighted by the Korea Personal Information and Privacy Commission and enhance its data security measures. Now, AliExpress has pledged to also review and upgrade its procedures to better protect user information and ensure compliance with international data protection standards. While Temu, owned by PDD Holdings, operates separately from AliExpress and has not faced similar penalties or public scrutiny regarding personal data transfers yet. However, it is expected to adhere to data protection regulations, of course, in the markets it operates in, including in South Korea. And if Temu were to face any data protection issues, it would likely follow a similar approach to address and rectify those concerns.
Right, so we'll have to wait and see, right? And to make things clear, it was $1.4 million. That is the fine that the commission imposed on AliExpress. And that was our news feed for this Friday. So we're now going to change the mood a bit and move on to our main discussion of the day. Today is the big day because today is the starting day of the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics. So get ready for the starting pistol with us here on NewsGen as we count down to the opening ceremony tonight.
One of the world's biggest sports celebrations is just around the corner. After a century-long wait, Paris will once again host the Olympics. The Paris 2024 Summer Olympics kicks off in the French capital today. That is Friday, 7 p.m. local time. 10,500 athletes from over 200 countries will compete in 32 sports. Today, NewsGen will highlight some sports and athletes you should look out for.
Right, so as mentioned in the VCR, the Global Sports Extravaganza will start its 16-day journey today with its grand opening ceremony. Now, it seems that the world comes together during mega sports events like the Olympics and the World Cup. So here in the studio, I want to ask you guys, do you also enjoy watching the Olympic Games? Because I am definitely one of those people who love to watch these mega sports events.
Yeah.
And do you also have a favorite sport that you like to watch?
You seem very excited.
I am. I'm so happy today.
Well, I am also one of those people who watches all these mega sports events, and I'm really excited about the upcoming Olympics. Actually, some of the games already began. Although it's a pity that the national football team isn't participating this time, I'm looking forward to archery and fencing in particular. In fact, with archery, we've already won some of the games that started on Thursday local time, and we have a lot of strong players because the training system here in the country is very strong. It emphasizes strength and techniques of archery in our country are distinct. I heard that the amount of practice that Korean athletes do is very different.
Right.
The high amount of practice and effort they put in, adapting to various environments as well. So with especially windy environment, like in baseball fields, or having different stadiums, or even having simulated cheerings to be able to focus in loud environments as well. And there are very notable features here in the country. And there's also the traditional Korean archery, or also known as the kukgung, and it's a sport that Koreans naturally excel at. The same goes for fencing as well. Koreans utilize their sharp skills to really overpower opponents and their quick footwork effectively, taking full advantage of their physical conditions.
Right, and talking about archery, the Korean national team had a good start because, as you've just seen at New Day and Arirang, we excelled in the individual ranking rounds that took place on Thursday local time. So I think we are off to a very promising and good start for Paris 2024. Now to you, Sang-yeong, what kind of Olympic sports do you like to watch?
Well, ever since the 2002 Korean World Cup, I have been really interested in these kind of international sports events. So when I was skimming through the list of national players for this Olympic, there was this interesting sport that caught my attention, and that was breaking.
Right.
So for our viewers who are not familiar with this sport, it's an urban dance style originated from the United States in the 1970s. So breaking was first designated as an official game of the international sports event in 2022 Hangzhou Asian Game. So in the actual match, players will have a dance battle, as you can see on the screen. So from Korea, the only breaking player who made it to the actual round of this year's Olympics was Hong Kim, also known as Hong Tan among foreigners. And he's also a famous b-boy dancer. Kim won the silver medal during the Hangzhou Asian Game and is going for another medal this year.
Right, so archery, fencing, and also breaking are some of the many sports that we're looking forward to watching at Paris 2024. And with the younger generation now becoming the primary demographic of participating athletes, they seem to have brought a change in the types of sports that Korea has become strong in, right?
That's right. So in the past, we excelled in sports like judo or boxing, but these days we're strong in sports that, as we've mentioned before, such as fencing and archery, those that require mental strength and training. And this also includes shooting, of course.
Right.
Yes, and we have a very structured training, advanced technology, including like the analysis using video and mental strength. And athletes start young. They train rigorously, use cutting-edge technology, like I mentioned, and emphasize mental conditioning as well. And cultural values such as discipline and perseverance and government support and international exposure also play a role in developing top-tier athletes. And other than the breaking that was newly added this time, there's also bouldering, which is a new, it wasn't added this time, but it was added pretty recently.
Right.
And I think that's also a MZ sort of sport because a lot of the younger generation engage in hobbies.
Right, like climbing.
Yes, yes. So I'm looking forward to watching that as well.
That sounds interesting
Yes.
as well. I think that Korea becoming better in more sports is making for spectators, making watching the Olympics more enjoyable. Now, Sang-young, are there any other sports that you would like to introduce that Korea has been doing well in recently?
Well, like Ji mentioned, Korea has been showing a great performance in traditional combat games like judo or boxing. But these days, sports that require a high degree of focus and concentration have become the new strengths of the Korean national team. And these include archery, fencing, and shooting, like we've mentioned. In fact, since the 1900 Olympics, the Korean archery team has won the most number of gold medals, which is 27 in total, followed by the US. So archery is like the almighty ace card for the Korean sports industry. It
Right.
always ensures a decent number of medals every year. And I look forward to the play of this year's archery team.
Right, and the Korean women's archery team, it's actually aiming for its 10th straight gold medal at the Olympics. So if we see that, that's going to be Olympic history. So talking more about Team Korea now, first of all, for our viewers who may not know, Ji, please tell us how many athletes are participating as part of the Korean national team.
Sure. So South Korea is sending its smallest team ever, unfortunately, to the Paris Olympics. This is the smallest ever for any Summer Olympics, with 143 athletes competing in 21 sports. Now, the goal is to win 5 to 6 gold medals as well. Now, popular sports like soccer, like I mentioned earlier, and volleyball even, will have notable absences. Now, the soccer team's failure to reach the finals is surprising and disappointing, but we do have other teams and athletes who are participating.
Right.
Yeah, and although this reflects the evolving dynamics of international competition and puts pressure on other athletes to meet the nation's expectations for Olympic success, but with our support, I'm sure they'll do pretty well.
Right. Although Team Korea is small in size, I think that we're strong and we're fierce. We're ready to do well at Paris 2024. Now, talking about the road to Paris 2024, it was a bit disappointing for fans of ball sports, as Ji previously mentioned, because Team Korea only managed to qualify for the Olympic Games in one ball sport, which is women's handball, right,
Yeah,
Sang-yeong?
so it's a bit frustrating that only one ball team play made to the Paris Olympics. But I gotta say that actually the women's handball of the Korean national team has a long legacy of victory. The team won the gold medal during the 1988 Seoul Olympics. And this was actually the first time when a Korean group ball sports team won a medal. And just this morning, the Korean women's handball team beat Germany by 23 to 22 in the opening match, advancing to the next round. So the team will have the next match with Slovenia on the 28th.
That's definitely a match that is worth watching during the weekend. And now talking about sports in general, these days some athletes, younger athletes particularly, they enjoy immense popularity, much like celebrities and K-pop stars. So could you please introduce which Korean athletes participating in Paris 2024 have gained immense popularity?
Sure. So energetic MZ sports athletes, including South Korea's top male fencer Oh Sang-wook and table tennis star Shin Yubin, are gearing up for the Paris Olympics. By the way, Oh Sang-wook is pretty good looking as well.
He is.
Yeah. And he's a double gold medalist at the 2023 Hangzhou Asian Games. And Shin Yubin, a gold medalist in women's doubles, are expected to shine in their respective events. And they represent the new generation, the younger generation of South Korean athletes, aiming for Olympics success this time.
Right. So not only are they attractive, they are also very good at their sports, which is the reason why I think they are so popular among sports fans all over the world. Now, Sang-yeong, are there any other athletes that you would like to introduce?
Yeah, so although we won't see many ball teams qualifying for this year's Olympics, there are many singles players who will make to the games. So first we have the swimmer Hwang Sun-woo, who established the new Korean national record in the 100 meters freestyle swimming, and then made a new junior world record in men's 200 meters. And then we also have another swimmer, Kim Woo-min, who is a promising rookie and is expected to win a medal at this year's Paris. And then we have the badminton player An Se-young, who won the gold medal at the 2023 World Championships, making history as the first Korean women's singles player to win the first place. She also got the women's singles gold medal at the 2022 Asian Games. So just like we've seen in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, we are seeing a lineup of MZ athletes this year.
Right, so can't wait what kind of stellar performances that these young athletes will show to the world during the 16-day games. Now, to make our discussion more lively and even fun, we're now going to head over to France, where the games will take place. We're going to invite a French Gen Z for more on how things are looking over there. We'll be right back after this break. So today we're joined by Marie Clemens Horticott, a French Gen Z. Welcome, Marie, to the show. Great. Thank you so much for joining us today. So our first question for you, Marie, is there's less than 12 hours to go until the opening ceremony of Paris 2024. So how is the mood and atmosphere over there in France?
Actually, people here really like Olympics and are really excited about it. But at the same time, they are really worried about the organization here in France. But regarding the opening ceremony, I think there will be a lot of people coming, even from abroad, because there are rumors regarding the artists who will sing at the ceremony, like Ayana Kamura, she's a French singer. And she will sing a French song from Charles Aznavour, which is called La Bohème. And also Céline Dion and Lady Gaga, they might sing a duo together, singing La Vie en Rose from Edith Piaf, also French singer. And also, one of my friends went to see BTS Jin carry the Olympic flame in Paris, and he told me that it was so nice and such a good atmosphere there.
I see. Well, I'm looking forward to the duet with Celine Dion and Lady Gaga. Anyhow, my second question to you is, how does the younger generation in France feel about their home country hosting the Olympics?
The majority thinks it's a really bad idea. There are a lot of controversies regarding these Olympics. And the most controversial one is the problem with the cleaning of the river La Seine. They tried to clean it and it cost a lot and didn't even work properly, so people are not really happy with it. But multiple studies are announcing an extremely positive impact on the French economy at the end of the Olympics, so it's giving us hopes, of course. And also, Olympics are promoting sports and bringing people together, which is the most important. And also, it can be a chance to show off our French cultural heritage to the world.
Okay, Marie, so which sports are you most looking forward to watching for this year's Paris Olympic?
If I had to choose 3 sports, I'll choose fencing first, like you said before. Because here in France, we're really good at fencing too, and we always win so many medals. So I think it's pretty cool. And second, volleyball. I used to play it at university, so I really like it. And also the beach volleyball court will be just in front of the Eiffel Tower this year. So I think it will be incredible to watch, an incredible experience. And last but not least will be rugby sevens. Which is really part of my culture in my region. And this year we won the World Cup against the All Blacks, so I think we can win a gold medal too. But at the end of the day, I think all sports are good and we will all enjoy to watch the Olympics.
Right. I think a lot of people around the world will get to enjoy Paris 2024. All right, Marie, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so for the next 2 weeks, the world will be buzzing with Olympics and Olympics-related news. Now, as Marie mentioned, leading up to the Olympics, it wasn't all roses because there were controversies surrounding the games, for example, regarding hygiene that she mentioned and also security issues. But it's really undeniable that the Olympics is a festival for all and a time for the unimaginable dedication and hard work of athletes to pay off and shine. So, last but not least, I want to ask our panelists, what are your thoughts on Paris 2024 and what are your plans to enjoy it to the fullest?
Well, I remember back in 2018 when Korea held the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, and when Marie was telling us about how the atmosphere is like in France, it reminded me of those times.
Oh, did
'Cause I
you?
was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As a volunteer?
Oh, no, not a volunteer. I was working for one of the NBC, actually, this other broadcast. But then it was really fun and it was really interesting to be actually part of all the vibe.
Right.
It's very lively, etc. And so this time, although we have some popular team sports missing, such as soccer and volleyball, I mean, Olympics is a festivity and we should all enjoy it. And because there's a time difference of 7 hours between Seoul and France, it may be a little challenging to pay attention to all of the events, and also for a lot of the office workers, many of the events take place during the day, so it's gonna be hard to watch all of them. However, I think with our support, we can really help raise the popularity of some of the not so popular events, sports, and yeah. So if you have time, without pushing yourself too much, do watch some of these games during the period.
Right, because it's definitely absolutely gonna be fun. And what about you, Sang-yeon?
So I'm going to stay up till nights to watch the games. Well, it's a bit cliche, but we always say that what matters is not winning or losing, but enjoying the sports itself. And in fact, many MCers said that it's actually not that important when it comes to winning or gaining victory, but actually enjoying the Olympic spirit itself. So I hope that our Korean national team avoid any injuries and have fun in Paris.
Definitely. And last but not least, on behalf of our NewsGen family and us here at Arirang, we hope for the successful hosting of Paris 2024. And most of all, a big shout out to all the participating athletes, staff, and of course, volunteers, because as we all mentioned, this is your moment. And we'll bring you more exciting stories on Paris 2024 next week here on NewsGen as well. And that's all the time we have for today, but we'll be back next Monday at 9:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks today to Choi Ji-hee
Always a pleasure.
and Im Sang-yeon.
Thanks for having me.
And while you guys watch for the Paris 2024 Olympics, take a quick time to participate in Arirang TV's program survey, including NewsGen, and get a chance to win a lot of great presents and prizes. Thank you so much for watching and hope you have a lovely weekend. We are News
News
Generation.
Generation.
You